A remote village in Greenland is threatened by a massive iceberg this morning. Video captured a large piece of the iceberg breaking off and then crashing into the water last week. Now there are fears another breakaway chunk could trigger a tsunami. Evacuations have already started in the town of Innaarsuit. That's home to almost 200 people. Mark Phillips, who's in London, looks at the threat that researchers are blaming on climate change. Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, we all know it's been a hot summer, and not just in North America and here in Europe, but it's also been warm somewhere where it matters even more, in the Arctic. For us, the consequences are potential and long-term, but they are immediate in one small little place. It's huge, it's beautiful, and when the massive iceberg that's grounded off the tiny Greenland fishing port of Innaarsuit starts to break up, it's dangerous. The village on Greenland's west coast is home to only 169 people, and more than 30 of them have already been moved to higher ground because when the iceberg calves, when chunks of it fall into the sea, powerful waves surge into the harbor. If the warm weather means the berg breaks up faster, or worst of all, rolls over, the town could be flooded. Greenland's ice is on the move. This is the Helheim Glacier on the east coast, and that's a chunk half the size of Manhattan breaking off in a spectacular event captured last month by a husband and wife climate science team from New York University.
It was really extraordinary. The sound was like a sonic boom or thunder, a thunderstorm.
Denise and David Holland of NYU have spent decades studying Greenland's ice and have never seen anything like it. Is this an event that we're going to be seeing more and more of?
Warmer air, or perhaps even more important, warmer water, leads to very rapid disintegration of ice. And icebergs are a very unstable structure.
The calving of icebergs off Greenland's glaciers isn't new. The question is whether it's speeding up because the Arctic seas are warming, and what that means. On a trip there several years ago, that it was happening was obvious. How quickly these icebergs break off the glaciers and how fast they float out to sea and melt will determine how quick sea levels rise across the planet. This isn't theory, these are the real consequences of climate change in handy frozen packets. These bergs, the Helheim Glacier, that monster stuck off Innaarsuit, they are the future. Those residents of Innaarsuit are watching that berg and watching the thermometer, and so should we. Gayle?
Got it, Mark. It's beautiful scenery there.
It is, but it's also dangerous. You know, this is a population of 200. What happens next when you're going to deal with larger cities?
And I love that we had the old, Mark's old piece because, you know, shows that over time the predictions are coming to pass.
He also grew a beard.
Yeah.
Our thanks to Mark in London.